gonna be a lot of spoilers in this video. Hey guys! So, I'm not feeling too good right now. I'm on my period. I know, gross. And whenever I'm not feeling too good, I like to do this little thing that I do, and I go to Goodreads. I search up my favorite books and I read the reviews because they are hilarious. So I'm gonna read some of them to you guys using my gavel as a microphone. I was in Model UN in high school, that's why I have this. Oh, and if I look down, it's because I have my computer right here looking at the reviews. This video is all in good fun. I actually love these books and I'm not making fun of them. And I'm also not making fun of the people that wrote the reviews. I just think they are comedy gold, which is why I am reading them out loud. Okay, the first book is, of course, Twilight. Oh, there's gonna be spoilers in this. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers in this video. The first one, 2 stars. I'm tired of pretending that this isn't the best English literature has to offer. Because it is. I didn't see the second line until right now. Honestly, this review is not wrong. I don't think as a society we'll ever surpass Twilight. Figured I'd read this series one last time before I turn 25 and my frontal lobe develops finally. I'm gonna be reading Twilight until I'm like 84. In comparison to the first review, 5 stars. Probably the worst piece of literature I've read, 5 stars. Vomits aggressively, 1 star. The next book on the list is The Hunger Games. This book in a nutshell. Katniss shoots arrow and Peeta shoots his shot. No, literally while they were like in the arena fighting for their lives, Peeta was just flirting with her the whole time. Even when he was dying, and he always got in the way. 5 stars. This book is Jesus. I accidentally reread this book in one sitting. Valid. I've done that. The next book in the list is To All the Boys I've Ever Loved Before. This is actually one of my favorite books, and I have read this book a lot actually, and I love it. This was a mess. Agreed. 1 star. Lara Jean is a wet noodle. Also, can I just say, whenever I was first reading this whenever I was first reading this book, I thought it was like Lara. It's Lara Jean. Is it Lara? I don't know how to pronounce her name. I've seen the movie. Lara Jean. It's Lara Jean, but I thought it was Lara Jean. So yeah, Lara Jean. The next book is Harry Potter. So the first review on this list is from Voldemort himself. He says, let me get closer so I can read this to you guys. This is a disgrace to all purebloods. My head looked quite dashing on that strange professor's head. If only I could have extended my stay. Harry Potter, this is not over yet. So he came back from the dead, just to write this review for us today. Actually in 2013. Wow, that was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago. Bad. 1 star. This reads as if it was written for children. I wonder why. This is fun. Personally, don't like it. It's too unrealistic for me. I really hope these are all sarcastic because I've been reading them in a sarcastic tone because they just seem so far-fetched that they have to be sarcastic. So I'm going with that they are I am going to say they are sarcastic. Can't speak. Okay, so the next book that I searched is called The Selection. And The Selection is my guilty read. I have read it a million times. Probably like, I want to say like 6 or 7 times. So this book is essentially The Bachelor and the Hunger Games, and it's about this competition and they're trying to win in the heart of the prince. And it's just really, really funny. It's hilarious. It was sold as a romance to me, but I honestly think it is a comedy, so I highly recommend it. I read it in like one sitting, and like no one likes it, but everyone loves it. This is the book that everyone loves to hate to read. Yeah, I think I said that right. 1 star. If you can get past the I'm smelling my armpit cover, and also the silly names and the horribly unoriginal storyline and the terrible writing. Wait, you can get past all of that? What does that even leave you then? What does that even leave then? A nice font? Seriously though, read reviews for this one. They're not favorable for me. Oh, it's not that bad. It's honestly not a bad book. It's just predictable. This book was pretty trashy. Sometimes trash can be great, but sometimes trash is just trash. I think this trash is great. This is a great book to read, and I will die on that hill. It's great in a very entertaining way. It's not like great literature, like Harry Potter is way better than this book, obviously, but this is such a fun read that I just always want to reread it. It's kind of like if The Bachelor meets The Hunger Games. This is perhaps the best, worst book I've ever read, and I loved every ridiculous second of it. Agreed. Do I even like this book? Not really. Am I going to reread it for the 6th time anytime soon? Probably. It's complicated. That's exactly how I feel about this book. These are some like YouTube originals, like back in the day YouTube books. Like a car crash I couldn't look away from, but definitely struggled to finish it this time around. Honestly, that's a very good way to describe this story, because just imagine America being the driver in car A, and then imagine being Max in another car, and then imagine being the, what's his name? The other guy in the love triangle. He's basically like the Kale of this world. Imagine Max is like in an 18-wheeler, like just in the middle of the road, and then imagine America crashing into that with like a tiny car, and then imagine the other guy, I think it started with an A, I think. Imagine him just like following America as she's crashing into the 18-wheeler, and then he just starts honking to get like attention. That's this series. Maxon. Heart. Ballad. I love Maxon. Honestly, he was too good for America. Aspen, go away, please. His name was Aspen! I just yelled that. His name is Aspen. I'm sorry for yelling. His name is Aspen, and I agree with this comment. Please go away. I did not like him as a character at all. The next book that is on this list is actually one of my favorite books of all time. This book I read for the first time in like 5th grade or 6th grade. The Lightning Thief. Annabeth calls Percy a wild animal, me romance. I'm gonna need a moment to just talk about Percy and Annabeth here, because they are my one true pairing. They are my favorite couple of all time. I have been following their books. I own all the Percy Jackson books. Honestly, I grew up with them. They are my favorite couple in every romance book, honestly. These books are technically for kids, but they can be enjoyed by anyone, so I still reread them sometimes. And to this day, Percy and Annabeth are still my favorite couple of all time. Seriously. 5 stars, my opinion. Percy Jackson was like 12, and he was like, you know, I'm gonna fight a god. Who else doesn't like him? Honestly, whenever I was reading these books and I was a kid, I didn't notice that. I was like, yeah, they're just kids fighting adults or gods, immortal gods. And I was just like, oh, that's normal. And then now as an adult, and whenever I reread the books, I'm just like, this is literally a child getting abused by an adult. Don't judge a book by its movie. That is so true. The movie wasn't very good. I think what went wrong there was the fact that they didn't cast the right people, and the series was meant for kids, was meant for young adults, and we really wanted to see like 12-year-olds be portrayed as the characters, and they just aged them up a little too much. They casted 20-something-year-olds to play 16-year-olds, so it was just kind of abrupt for the audience, and I think that's the main reason it didn't do so well. And also they kind of changed the entire plot, so we didn't know what exactly we were watching, so it was really confusing for the audience. If it had nothing to do with the Percy Jackson series, I feel like it would have been an okay movie, but I think that the reason it flopped so bad is because all the expectations we had on it, because we love these books and we grew up with these books. We had a really high expectation for these movies, and they were honestly just like a letdown, which really sucks. But hey, the TV series, the Disney Plus series, is so much better. I watched the whole first season and I'm so excited for the second one to come out. How did you die? We drowned in a bathtub. All three of you. It was a big bathtub. Honestly, whenever I read this line, I laughed. This book is just pure comedy. This is a really funny book. Everyone should read it. Even if you're like 30 years old and you don't want to read a book for a child, just shut up and read it, because it's amazing and it's hilarious and you will be laughing. Percy Jackson is the reason I'm scared of 12-year-old boys. Honestly, I understand that. I really do understand that, because Percy did some incredible stuff in this book, in these books, and I don't think any other 12-year-old is capable of doing them, but it really brought to my attention the fact that a 12-year-old can do that. So valid fear. Just imagine if Percy got mad at you and just threw a wave of water, like the ocean, at you. Terrifying. The best book series in all eternity, a must read for every single person on the planet. 1 star. Talk about mixed signals. Maybe what they're doing is, if someone looks up other 1-star reviews, they'll see that, so they won't actually get any 1-star reviews, and they'll be able to enjoy the book because they weren't tainted by the negativity of 1-star reviews. That's a really smart plan, actually. I commend this person. So the next book that I have reviews here for is City of Glass, and one of my favorite reviews, Sweet Home Alabama. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching me speak into my gavel and talk to you today. I hope you also go down to the review section on Goodreads on your favorite books, because they are hilarious. People that leave reviews are comedy geniuses, and I am so happy I did this. So if you're ever feeling down, make sure to do that. Bye for now.